Warning. The content of the following video is unscripted, so if you need a jump cut after every goddamn sentence, tune this off. Also, the things stated in this video are my beliefs, yours may differ. If so, keep it civil. Don't be a cunt. What is up, guys? Just Ruger here, and today I want to talk about something that's very near and dear to my heart, you may say, and that is DayZ. So just to give you a little background, I played the game back on way back in the alpha, like I don't know, 04 something was the first version I played. I never got around to play the mod. I don't think I missed too much, maybe a bit of the hype, but in the end, I really did stick with the game for what's that now, 8 years, playing on and off. I had huge breaks, like monthly breaks of month after month passing by, but somehow I always kept an eye out because I really loved the game, and it was very hard to love it back then. It was a hate-love relationship, as you may know if you're knowledgeable about the game's past. But if you look at it now, it's a whole different product. The vision was always right that the devs had. There was a lot of turmoil and change in terms of direction because a lot of people went away. First it was Dean Hall, then Brian Hicks took over in his role, and he went away. So we always had new people, but to be honest, the vision was always the right one. That was to make the best survival zombie game that possibly can be invented. Now you have a bit of a background about my background with DayZ. Now we can get to the heart of the matter, and I love the game in its current version. I am not one of the persons who says that 063 is better than what we got with the version that's out right now, so past 1.0. I think it's way more complete. You get the PvE aspects, you get hunting, you have wildlife in some form or another. You have a huge weapon variety. It's also something you can't complain about. The game runs smooth, you don't have FPS problems, etc. User input, like, controls everything. So I think it's in its best state that it's ever been in, except for one thing. And that little thing is base building. So my problem with base building is that I don't think it really fits into DayZ very well, at least not in the form that it's been implemented in thus far. So I don't have a problem with base building in its core. I think base building works well on a lot of games. I'm not ever too enthusiastic about it. It's never my favorite aspect of a game. I'm not passionate about it or anything, but I think in some games it works well, like Rust, for instance. But when it comes to DayZ, I think it's a different matter. It's just that, what's the stuff that makes DayZ so intense? What's the core of the experience? It's that you get anxious when you're like in a military base of some sort, and you have your gear with you, but there's a player coming around, and it ends in a firefight. But before this firefight, your heart goes crazy as if you had sexual intercourse, and it's insane. And it's exactly what is a huge part of DayZ's success, the being afraid of losing your gear, losing your stuff, the permadeath. Well, turns out now you have the exact same scenario. You're in the military base, there's another guy coming, you don't talk, it's clear it ends in a firefight, and you die. But what happens? You spawn at the coast, you run to your stash, you grab another pair of weapons that you hoarded away some time ago, and you're just ready and set and go. You don't feel the loss of your gear, and it doesn't get intense in the first place because, well, if you lose, so what? I can just go to my stash, grab my crap, and, well, there we go. I'm back where I was before. Maybe I have a bit of a worse weapon, maybe even a better one, but that's the problem. It never gets the intensity that it used to before, stashes and base building. That's the main point I wanted to make with this video, why I think it's a problem. I don't hate base building per se. I don't hate looting gear and putting it away, and that's fine in any other game, but not in DayZ for me. Not the DayZ that I fucking love with and that I love so much. And there's a few things that come with this. So let's say you're again in this military base scenario with the other guy, and instead of letting it end in a firefight, you guys communicate, and maybe you have the upper hand, and you threaten him and say you don't want to die, and maybe you poker around with saying that you got a body in the tree even if you don't. You do psychological tricks, all the interesting and interaction that you can do in this game, which makes it so great also. So back in the day, you may have done this, and you may have stayed true to your word and let him surrender, unloaded his weapons, maybe took the ammunition, took a lot of his stuff that you found useful, and maybe left him with an empty magazine. So what you do instead with this iteration of DayZ is that you kind of want that gun. You want it for yourself. Even if you're already double carrying, you will find a way to stuff it in your backpack, or stuff that you may never have had a use for. Now you want it because you can hoard it like so it's always hard to play the game the way that I just described it, but now it's even harder because now you're even trying to stash even more stuff. So yeah, that's kind of like the points, or that underlines the point that I want to make with this video, and where my actual problem lies with DayZ currently. And maybe I will find a modded server that doesn't allow base building, whatever. But I really do like vanilla. I like the vanilla experience. I don't care much for modding. So yeah, that's it for this video. I don't want to keep it, I want to keep it short and concise and not make it too long. So thank you for listening, and be sure to put your opinions in the comments. I'd be really interested to read it. Maybe we can discuss some things. Maybe you have some arguments that counter the stuff that I just stated. I'm very keen to read everything, so just go ahead and have a nice day.